Hey, what's going on, people? I'm Chuck with another episode of the Millionaire Mindset. Got a new episode today, and it is adding up the cost. Anything that you do comes with a cost, and you must add it up. Whether it be playing a video game, driving to see your family members in Texas, going to work for overtime, whatever it is, it has a cost. And you should always add it up because sometimes the cost is not worth the benefit. But anyway, before I get started, don't forget to comment, like, or subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can see when I drop new videos, topics, shorts, whatever. And if you like what I'm saying, don't forget to drop a comment. That might help me out too. But let me get started. Adding up the cost. First, we're going to dive into the cost of a relationship. We know all relationships take time, money, effort, and you have to go back and forth. So it has to be equally yoked, whether you're an introvert, extrovert. This relationship or friendship may take dates, barbecues, conversation, text messages, whatever it is. It's taking time away from your life or a valuable resource that you may have, whether it be time or money. So we want to dive into it and see, is it worth the effort we're putting in? Now, first and foremost, if it's not reciprocated, then of course we can stop before we even start. But it has to be a benefit somewhere. And so many times we enter into relationships and friendships and do things that are one-sided or not beneficial for us. Now, all things don't always start out that way. It may start off strong and some way may hit a low spot in life or lose a job or whatever it is. But things change. But only thing that matters is that you win more than you lose. You don't want to enter any contract, friendship, relationship, partnership where you're losing. And I'm guilty of it too. I've entered friendships and relationships where they were one-sided and I lost more than I won. And sometimes it balances out. I mean, you may be friends with Becky or Bobby and the first 5 years might have been good where they helped you. And the next 5 years you may have to help them. That's fine too, but it needs to be some sort of balance. It shouldn't be out of whack where you're depleting your resources, energy, and time and pouring into something or someone that doesn't benefit you. Time is the most valuable asset, and we don't want to waste it on nothing. We want to waste it on something we can build, something we can hold, something we can touch, something we can see, and it has some sort of benefit. I mean, you wouldn't go to the gym every day if you never built any muscles. You wouldn't keep eating food that you couldn't taste. So there should always be a benefit to things being done in your life. So we're going to, on the relationship side, let's see. I would say it should be stimulating mentally. So that's one, whether it's good conversation, whether they challenge you, uplift you, let you know, hey, you dropped the ball. Hey, you need to work harder. You need to focus. You need to stop drinking. You need to stop smoking. They should always challenge you and stimulate you. Another reason would be just say you're wilding out and you want to buy that new slingshot and they say, did you, I don't know, pay your car note? Can you afford it? Is it in the budget? Does it make sense financially? Did you call and price the insurance? That's a good friend or a partner that can challenge you or question you before you go down this deep, dark road and spend money on something that you can only drive during good weather. So that would be a great benefit to the partnership or friendship. Let me think of another one. Just say you might be partying too hard and it's cutting into your working or it's cutting into your savings for that, I don't know, that timeshare you're about to buy or that second house or third house. And they say, hey, the money you're spending on partying can be going towards the fun of your house or that business venture. That's a great friend or a great partner. They're calling you out on your bull and you need to be checked. We all have to be checked sometimes. Accountability is great, But sometimes we drop the ball. I mean, no one is an island. We all need to be in check at some point in time, and we're grown, so that's where friends and loved ones come in. Because your parents can't hold your hand forever, right? Got it. I think a true relationship or partnership will stand the test of time, whether they divorce, break up, move, cross state, internationally, whatever it is. A true relationship will stand the test of time, and they will be there for you through thick and thin, and you will do the same, so that you all can grow. You'll go through different phases of life: young, middle age, older age, retirement, all the different phases. And I don't think you will get a lot of people that will stand the test of time, but if you got one, two, or three, that's more than enough. Just think about it. I mean, one person is enough to do what you need to do, because we have so many other things going around the world: work, traveling, living, and just trying to find a balance. So there's only so many people you can entertain. Now, when I mean entertain, I mean friendships or relationships, because we have the same 24 hours. So the next one, I would say, adding up the cost. Just think about if you're thinking about buying a house or a car. Do the math. Is it financially feasible? Does it make sense? Will it benefit you? Will you lose money? Will you eventually come out on top? So many people get emotional with friendships, relationships, jobs, cars, finances, and they get this emotional attachment to these things that don't benefit them, or they sell themselves on the idea of entering something, purchasing something, or doing something without doing the true cost analysis, the return on investment, return on assets, or it may even be a liability. But so many times people don't do the math or the homework. How many years will it take for me to get a return on my investment? If I sell it, what is it worth? There's the B word again. There should always be a benefit to anything you do. Benefit, 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 benefit. I'm going to drill it into your head so that you think about it. So the next time you're dating a person, hey, why don't we start dating exclusive or take it serious? What is the benefit? What do you bring to the table? What do you need from me? And then you got to ask yourself too, what do I bring to the table? Or is there a table even there? These are hard conversations we need to have so that we can stop wasting time doing things and not going anywhere in life, or doing things that don't serve a purpose at all. We want to live a purposeful life, a driven life, an abundant life, and we want to head in a direction that will take us somewhere. I mean, you wouldn't get in the car headed to Florida with the car in park, would you? Same concept. The next subject is going to be the value of that job or that career. Is it taking you away from your relationship? Is it stopping you from being a good parent? Is it stopping you from helping with your loved ones, your family members? So many times people get one job, two jobs, three jobs, and it takes away from their quality of life. They can't read, they can't concentrate, they can't see the long-term goals or the short-term goals. And they're just blinded by life and the things that are taking place. Life is hard, I get it. You got student loan, kids, car note, insurance, health issues. I get it. We all have the same struggles. We just find different ways to navigate them and overcome them. And I challenge you to do the same too. That's why I create these videos, to give you unique and creative ways to think about life and handling any prospective issues that may arise while you're living life. So let's take a job, any job. You're working on an oil rig, you're offshore, you're making $30 an hour, but you're gone 6 months out of the year. Can you be a good father being gone that long? Can you be a good husband, a good brother, a good friend? Those are the questions that we should answer. Now, the variable to that depends on which role you play in all of these people's lives, and What do they expect or need from you? Do they need constant contact? Do they need to see you? Do they need to feel you? Do they need to touch you? So that's going to be based on each person. And some people make it work. I mean, you got plenty of athletes, entertainers, actors that are on the go all the time and they have normal, healthy relationships. I suppose they're doing the work behind the scenes that we will never know, whether it's FaceTimes or quick turnaround flights, sending letters, emails. I mean, when you're gone, you have to do something to fill that void. So I'm sure they're doing that work all the time. But the average person that gets bound up or in a jam with life and they're trying to make it and work and see their way through the other side, they may not always be vigilant enough of adding up the cost to see what it will take to make this thing work. It's no different than being an entrepreneur and getting the business off the ground. It's going to take a lot of money, a lot of time, sweat equity, and it's going to take help from friends and family members that you cannot necessarily calculate, because there will be problems all the time when you're trying to get anything off the ground. And it doesn't even have to be an entrepreneur. You can be getting your first house built. You can be potty training your kid. That's a task, trust me. Been there, done that. So I just threw that example out there for someone that may or may not be an entrepreneur, or they may not have the desire to be an entrepreneur. There are other ways or challenges that happen in life that will force you to overcome them and think outside of the box to get those things done. The next version of adding the cost up, you should always sit down with a budget, a plan, a calculator, notepad, and just add up all the costs associated with the venture you're about to take. That venture being that relationship, that job, that house, or that car that you've been thinking about. And just see, does it look good on paper? Does it make sense? Because sometimes we make decisions or we think about doing something, and we're just caught up in the moment. We got the Google eyes, we got the tunnel vision. And if you just take the time and write it down, hey, this car payment is $1,000 a month. Do I do a 30-year mortgage? Or if I do a 15-year mortgage, it's $1,400 a month. This car payment is $850 a month for the next 60 months. It's $850. Should I try to find a car that's $500 a month and maybe drop it down to 48 months? That way I can pay it off sooner. My kids' college is $60,000 a year. Can we swing that? Of course not. Got to find another way to get it done. So sitting there analyzing gives you a time to get out of your emotions, out of your head, and you're visually writing it, and you have to process it because you're writing it, you're seeing it, and it gives you a time to internalize it and say, this doesn't necessarily make sense. And we have to do that for ourselves because we're on go all the time. Traffic, work, kids, relationship, time, and just figuring it out. And sometimes those costs slip in there. It's going to always be extra costs that we can't account for. And those will come in there and wipe your budget out. Now, we got two kind of costs involved. We have direct costs and we have indirect costs. The direct cost is going to be materials, labor, and overhead. Example, starting this video, there were a lot of costs that I did not account. One being time, then you got lights, you got the camera, you got the camera stand, you got the microphone, you got the MacBook, you got the chair, you got the table, then you got the utilities because everything that I got hooked up is pulling power from the house. Then, you got the occasional bathroom break, so you got soap, water, tissue. Then you got to have your beverage. I got to have my coffee or my water on deck. So all of those things play into it. And whatever you think is going to cost, you probably need to add another 5 or 10% to it because the cost is going to run up. For example, I just thought about it. I got this backdrop, and then I got 2 more other backdrops. So those are unforeseen costs because I started one way, and then I went in another direction because it didn't have the look that I was going for. Overhead. Are you renting a building? Are you leasing a building? Are you buying a building? Like, what are you doing? So that's definitely another cost that you have to throw in. The building you may in, it may require you to get some type of insurance or be bonded, be licensed. And the labor, of course, for me, and I'm just using the video because you all can relate to it because you're seeing me, you hear me. The labor. As I make more videos, I'm getting faster, I'm getting better. It's muscle memory. I know which buttons to hit, what to do, what not to do. But that takes time. And I haven't been making videos long, but I've been making them long enough to where I'm getting better and better and better. But that's through repetition. But you have to be able to devote the time to the video. And everyone's schedule and life is different. So they may not be able to devote time to whatever it is that they're planning on doing or that they're trying to do, whether it's braiding hair, a lemonade stand, an e-commerce business. They might have a line of candles they want to create. So if you don't have a lot of time available, it's going to take you a lot longer to get things started or get them off the ground if your time is limited. Some people only have 3 or 4 hours a day free time after their day shuts down. Some people only have an hour or two, so that limits your window. Or maybe you need to diversify and try to get more things done on the weekend if you're off during that time. But we have to come up with, again, creative ways to get things done because life is not going to make it easy for us. It's not going to stop. It's going to keep going. And we just got to jump in there and get it done and make it happen like I know you can. The indirect cost is going to be marketing, insurance, and taxes. Depending on what kind of following or network you have, if you have a big network of co-workers, colleagues, friends, family members, then you won't have to market as much. But if you're not a sociable person or you're not outgoing, then you're going to have to pay for ads and marketing to get that exposure that you normally could have gotten for free if you just open your mouth. I mean, it just starts some way with a hello, nice shirt, how's it going, how are your kids, I like that new hairdo, when'd you get that car? It starts off small and it just builds from there. You'll be surprised by asking the right questions, whether it be 1 question or 10, the response you'll get, and it starts the conversation. It just builds momentum and it goes from there. Again, this is all in adding up the costs and making things happen and just being proactive and holding yourself accountable. Insurance. I spoke on that a little bit earlier. Insurance is going to be based on, whether you're selling, example, you might be selling a hairspray, and it might work for 90% of the people, and you might get that 1%, their hair fall out, shed, whatever. So you need insurance to protect yourself from things like that so that you won't go out of business or lose money or lose your income. Because if this is your sole source of income of working, whether you're putting on roofs, doing nails, you're a content creator, whatever it is, you need to protect yourself from the inevitable. Lawsuits definitely happen as people begin to progress and make money and build business and generate more profits. It's just a part of it. So always somebody somewhere looking to take away, whether it be on your behalf or their behalf. It can be a negative or a positive. Just be knowledgeable enough to know that you need to protect yourself with some type of insurance for when that time comes. Taxes, we all have to pay that. Whether you make $30,000 to $300,000, you just be weary. You get your accountant or you get your budget, keep up with your receipts, and it won't be that bad. You just have to be positive. Again, adding up the cost, saying, hey, I made this amount of money. This is the progress I made. This offset my income by this much. Let's get this done. Let's make this happen. And the quicker you get it done, the better you can get back to work to making videos or doing nails or doing hair or putting roofs on. Or, hey, you might even work on cars. Whatever it is that you're doing, it's enough time to get it done. You just have to appropriate it. Don't stress. Don't get depressed. Don't worry. Because it won't change anything anyway. So just proceed on. Do what makes you happy. And I'm Chuck with the Millionaire Mindset. And thank you for watching my video. I'll see you again next week. Peace.